What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be checking out the old Lord of the Rings trading card game. Now, this was made by a company called Decipher. Now, I'm not entirely sure what's happened to them. They don't seem to really be around anymore. But they used to make a lot of card games, many of which built on movie licenses. And that's one of the first things we need to point out here. Incidentally, I am, as you can clearly see, starting to do some openings of old card games. We've looked at Looney Tunes lately. We've looked at WCW Nitro. We've looked at the X-Men trading card game. If there's any others you think I should be checking out but I haven't yet, hit me up in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you. These are very much movie decks. This is the Lord of the Rings movie. You got Éowen, you got Éomer, but they are very much movie decks. Now, this is a 60 card deck and this is a 63 card deck. So let's start off with the Éowen deck and we'll go from there. Now, this is a game I've wanted to check out for a little while now. It looks very, very cool. Now, in terms of what you actually get in the box, it's very bare bones. You get yourself a 60 card deck, a rulebook, and a very cool little, you don't really get this anymore, but a little just kind of sheet where you can answer some questions, fill out a little survey, and win a booster box. Very cool. All massively out of date at this stage, but still kind of cool. And then you get yourselves a very small, so it fits in the box, but looks like fairly comprehensive rulebook. And then, it's actually already falling apart. It's literally falling apart. But you can see there, it's, this is what the game should look like as we go through, which is very cool. It has to be small dimension-wise to fit with the deck, but there's a little bit of chunk in there. And then you get yourself a full 60-card deck. Backs of the card look a little bit like that. That's very, very cool. Lord of the Ringsy. And if we have a look, we've got ourselves an Éowen card. Be weird if we didn't. It's an Éowen deck. We've then got a One Ring card. I'm assuming that's something that every deck needs. Apparently there is a Frodo. And then what we see is just a bunch of cards based around the actual movie. A Warg Rider. All of which using official... Oh, yeah, it's just a Warg. All of which using the actual official pictures from the movie. If you're into the movies, I don't know why you wouldn't be at this stage, right? The movies were excellent. But I very much am into the movies, so this is kind of ridiculously cool for me. As someone who is a massive fan of the movies, and Lord of the Rings in general, let's be clear, I'm not just a movie Lord of the Rings fan, but as someone who is a fan of the Lord of the Rings, movies and otherwise, this is very cool. Okay, now we are starting to repeat a little bit there. So we get another copy of Wolf Voices. But it seems like there's not a huge amount of repetition in terms of the cards. All there is, and they are hiding it by... Okay, so there's another Warg Rider there. They are kind of hiding it a little bit by shuffling the deck up. But it seems like what they're basically giving you here is just a complete, ready-to-play 60-card deck. There's lots of wargs going on with this deck. We got ourselves the Éowen we got at the start. That was quite cool. Okay, so yeah. So there's a third copy of Wolf Voices there and a third copy of Warg Rider. They're the ones I've noticed coming out more than once. There may be others. Oh, I think I saw that dude earlier. I definitely saw that one earlier. Now, thematically, this looks kind of cool. It is very much the part of the film where Éowen was in there and there were wargs going and it was, that part of the film seems very well represented. Of course, Éowen, spoiler alert for like a 100-year-old book at this stage, does take down the Witch King. So that's something to look out for. Now, there is a second Éowen card there. Waiting for that. And then we got ourselves some more wargs. It's really war warg. It's a really warg heavy deck, alright? Warg Master, we've seen him before. Warg, we've seen a bunch of those. That dude, another one of those. Okay, so now they are actually starting to repeat quite heavily. We've also got Horse Country here, a kind of a stadium location card that some decks use, some games, I should say, use a lot more than others. Oh, and then, actually, no, there's a bunch of locations, mind you. So we've got Horse Country. We've got Plains of Rohan Camp. We've got Stables. We've got Westmont Hills. Helm's Gate. Hornburg Armory. King's Room. Nan Kuranir. Palantir Chamber. And then we're back to Horse Country. So lots of different locations there that you can use. So we ended up with 2 copies of Éowen there, both the same. And then just a bunch of cards apparently focused around wargs and things of that nature. And then a whole bunch of locations to finish off. Now, here's the thing I found about this deck when I went and ordered it. I picked this one up on eBay for like next to nothing. I picked it up like £3 or something. That's the other thing. These old games I'm looking into, wife, mortgage, 2 small children. Shall we say the games I am looking into have to be somewhat on the cheaper variety. The Harry Potter trading card game, for some reason, it's the one TCG that's held a lot of value over the years, and shall we say it's not one I'm buying into anytime soon. I don't have like £40 to spend on a 2-player starter set. Now here, on the other hand, you actually get 1-player starter sets, which seems a tiny bit strange to me. Right, okay, we got it. But of course, the whole, you get that in other card games, but the point is, if you want to play, you actually have to have 2 of them. So I checked around eBay and I found this one for about £3. There are plenty of other decks from, shall we say, more popular characters, but I think Éowen and Éomer, they make a nice pair, right? So you get yourselves another book. Now, the thing to remember is these were actually from different expansions. So this is from the Return of the King expansion, and this is from the Battle of Helm's Deep expansion, which is why we have different covers to the rulebook. But inside we see a similar kind of thing, and it shows you the, how it's all set out and all of that good stuff. Now, the difference in this deck is you get 3 random rares. Now, I did have a cheeky look at the back of the box earlier, and it says each 63 card starter deck contains locations and characters, blah, blah, blah. No. Oh, there we go. Right. So it's on the actual side of the box here, where it does say, contains starter rulebook, 60 fixed cards, including 2 Éomer premium cards, and 3 random rares. So that's how I knew I was getting 3 random rares. And then you get the same cool little thing we got in the last one, which is just that little cards for asking me questions so I can win a booster box. And it is a booster box. But unfortunately, let's just say the time has passed. So we'll run through this one then. I'll show you roughly what these cards are. We got ourselves an Éomer at the front. We got ourselves a 1 ring. So like I said with the previous one, I'm fairly sure all decks will come with that now. We got ourselves a Frodo, which we did get a Frodo in the other deck as well. And then we got Mordor Defender. And I would imagine here that we're going to... Oh, there's a Gandalf. Hey, Gandalf. That's quite cool. I like me some Gandalf. As an Orc officer. I'm assuming this deck is going to be less Warg and more others. So you've got Knights of the House. A Mordor veteran. So it seems like there's lots of Mordor here, rather than specifically just having Warg. So we got some Orcs and some random Mordor stuff. Oh, we're starting to repeat a little bit earlier this time. Always nice. So, riding armor and long spear and orc pursue, sorry. So lots of random orcs and random Mordor, just kind of showing you the slightly different tint of the deck, shall we say. I do find it strange how they say premium Éomer card. There's nothing premium about it. There's no hollow, there's no gold etching or any of that. There's no mark on it that I can... Ooh, Theoden. How cool. Nothing that I can see in terms of anything to actually set it apart from the other cards in the deck, other than it is an Éomer deck. So when they say premium Éomer card, I don't know whether it's exclusive to the starter deck, maybe? But I'll be honest with you, if you put it side by side with any other random card, there is nothing at all that is premium about the Éomer card. Maybe that's just me. And if you have spotted anything in the video that I've not spotted, please do let me know. In terms of the quality of the cards, they're fairly standard. They're about what we would expect from other card games. There's the other Éomer randomly popped in. I'm not terribly familiar with Decipher games. Since I've been coming up playing TCGs, there's been a lot of Fantasy Flight Games and Wizards of the Coast and companies along those lines. Ooh! So we got an Éowen in here, which is kind of cool. To, go in with the Éowen deck we got. But Decipher's not been on my radar so much. Now, there is an Austin Powers deck, which I'm going to do an opening of in the near future, that, again, was made by Decipher, and packaging-wise, at least, is very similar. So then, in terms of locations, we've got Ellaris Hall. We got ourselves Rohirrim Camp. We've got ourselves Hall of the Kings. We've got ourselves Unduine Banks. Sorry for the pronunciation. Pelennor Flat. Minas Tirith 4th Circle. Osgiliath Crossing. Morgul Vale. Slag Mound. And then back to Ellaris Hall. Nice. So in both the decks then we ended up with 60 cards, including 2 of our kind of protagonists, as it were, and then a bunch of locations. In terms of my 3 random rares, we got ourselves a Smeagol. Woo! Who doesn't want a Smeagol? We got ourselves a Small Hope. Be honest with you, not as exciting as Smeagol. And we got ourselves a Troop Tower. Yeah, let's just leave it on Smeagol. We got a random rare Smeagol card. Yay! Good times, ladies and gentlemen. Good times. So that's it. That is the Lord of the Rings trading card game. A couple of starter decks, what's in them. Hopefully, my plan is over the next few months to do a whole bunch of research into here, have some how to play videos and then some history videos telling you all about these games, how they started, how they worked, why they went away, things of that nature. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to know what you think about all this lovely stuff, so let me know in the comments section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And tell me your memories of this game, if any. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, where we talk about all kinds of card games, because card games are fun. But by far, and do check out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays. Bye.